guys, I want to have a little discussion today about something that I think about and maybe someone else thinks about too. But I want to talk about, is the world really that simple? Like, is it simple enough to change something we don't like just by changing energy? And I wonder about that. Like, the world is literally ruled by old people who have lived in a different time, who is stuck in that energy, who does not move. If you haven't noticed, our laws really are not moving how they should move. Like, for example, like the gun laws. Back then, maybe people weren't shooting up people all the time. Okay, maybe back then there wasn't so much crime, but as of right now, there's so much crime. And I feel like the people who are in charge, like Congress, the president, are old. They live in a different energy, an older energy. Like, their energy is not changing with ours. And energy is a constant change, but I feel like their energy is not mixing with this constant change. And I'm not saying I agree with everything that people are trying to normalize or make better, or I'm not saying that, but I feel like the world is trying to change for better. But as long as we have these older people that are making these laws for us, and I feel like we're just so, like, how would you say, like, crippled by them. Like, it's like we're kind of forced to shut up and just go with whatever they're saying. Yeah, we may have a voice when we vote and all of those things, but at the end of the day, they always have the last say. And I'm tired of that. And I'm pretty sure other people are tired of that. Of course, people are tired. People are frustrated. You want to know why? Because these people decided that we work. We work all the time, 40 hours a day. Sometimes we don't get to spend time with our kids or whatever. And we still have to give the government most of our check or half of our check or whatever. Like, you did not work for that money. Like it or not, people need to understand that we are kind of all the same, because we're all in the same boat. We're all in a, what would you say, like a modern day slavery. It's true, we are. And I feel like people need to really wake up and see that. Like, we are really kill ourselves just to make them rich, and they're supposed to be the ones who are ahead of our democracy and hear our voices and change things. But I feel like the only voices that they hear are themselves. And I feel like we are like so crippled when we shouldn't be. Like, if we all can get on the same frequency of energy, like, no, this is not okay, this is not okay, then I feel like we can change something. We can, like, make progress. And the world, whether you see it or not, the reason we are divided is because of them, because of the people who rule our country. But yet they say this is a democracy. No, I feel like you guys just say that. Like, they just say that to make us feel like better, or like so we don't really pay attention to what is really going on. And honestly, the woke generation, as they say, they on to something, because they tired. Everybody is frustrated and tired. Like, when I see people acting up, acting crazy, I don't judge them, because this world is stressful. Yes, we can have it worser, and when we have a bad day, we also need to think about the other countries who don't have a voice and all those other things. But what I'm trying to say right now, for the country that we live in, which is the United States, or I live in, which is the United States, that this is a modern day slavery. The American dream they want to sell, but it's not really a dream. It's not really a dream. Think about it. Who are these people to come over here on, steal this land from somebody and say, hey, you pay this, you do that, you work all day, but we're going to take all your money, and you need to have this much credit. We need to think about this. We need to have a certain high number just to own a house, or just to get a certain type of loan. Like, a number. Like, are you kidding me? Like, yes, I understand, like, there needs to be some type of, like, well, you didn't pay this. How are you going to pay this loan if you didn't pay that, this, that, and the third, the stuff that shows on your credit report. But at the same time, that needs to go away. You want to know why? Because people are frustrated. We're having a hard time down here. Okay, like I understand, like not everybody can be rich or whatever. I understand that, but the world need to understand that we're all connected and we all live in the same world together. And if you're not gonna help us, then get the F out the way. But I feel like it can't change unless somebody else is, like everybody else is on the same frequency. Everybody else is worried about a purse or a designer jacket or a car instead of helping each other, like climb a ladder. Or getting these people who don't have our best interests out of office. Like, come on. Like, sometimes I get frustrated because I feel like I see so much and I want so much, but it's like I can't just change everything on my own, which I wish I could. But maybe if we can all get on the same frequency of energy, we could do so much, But just think about that, man. We go to work all the time and still got to pay these old people. And they literally incite war. And we just got to sit here and hope that they do something about it. Like, it's stressful. And all of us are connected. Whether you're in a foreign country or poor, rich, whatever, we're all connected. So why don't we all help each other? And for example, the reason why I say we're all connected, let's say if Korea, China, whoever decided that they wanted to start a war, okay, it affects all of us. It affects all of us. So, and I feel like, and even for example, on social media, half of the people we see on social media, we don't even know, but we're somehow kind of sort of a part of their lives. So we're all connected, but yet it's like we fight each other. And it's like, I feel like the people in office do that. Not only saying like the people in the United States office do that, because foreign countries do that also to us, whether they see it or not, because they see how easily like it is to influence us. Why? Because we're so focused on the wrong things. We're focused on what like influencers are doing or whoever else is doing, like material things instead of things that last, instead of like helping each other. Like other countries notice that we don't help each other. Most of the time we do not. So, it's like I just wish everybody would get on the same frequency of wanting better for themselves, wanting better for their children, and everybody thinks that it's just, oh, we got to get this money and then everything's going to be good for my family, your family, whoever. No, it takes more than money. You know what I mean? It takes more than that. So I just wish like people would just realize that. If you think about it, all the old people that are in Congress, they're old. They come from a different type of energy, a different type of world where they're not like here with us. And half of them don't come from where we come from. Like people who struggle, people who are on like EBT, they don't come from that. They always start out from somebody, oh, their family had money or whatever, like boost them up. They don't hear us. They don't care about us. Like, so it's just like, I don't know. I just wish everybody would pay attention to that. We're all connected. So why fight with each other? What we need to be doing is fighting for ourselves, fighting for our freedom. They say that we have freedom, but it's not freedom. You buy a car, it's paid off, but you still have to pay taxes on it. Like, what? I worked hard for this and you still want me to pay you something? Like, I feel like it's unacceptable. And I feel like people just, oh, it's normal. It's just normal. We're going to just leave it. No. Everybody need to get on the same frequency and like protest for something that matters. I'm not saying that people that are protesting for the he, she's, them, theys don't matter. But honestly, it's not as important as, as your growth, as your freedom, as your voice, as your democracy. If you want your voice heard, that's what you need to be focusing on first, not a he, she, or them. You know, like, people worried about the wrong things. You always, guys, everybody wants to boycott something that doesn't really matter. Everybody's so blind to what's really going on. And then they want to say, like, the world is so divided. The higher up people in Congress, the president, whatever, they did that, okay? Why on earth, if we're all in the same country, why is there a Democrat and a Republican Party divided? Why is there white and black divided? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always like a name for something that they want to just separate. But then they say, like, oh, the people are doing that. The people are doing that. But really, they did that. And I believe that they do it on purpose. You know, like, instead of having a Democrat Party, Republican Party, just say the person's name, not what party they represent or whatever. Just say, like, what the person is about and let people vote. You want to get rid of, like, division. Get rid of that, you know? Like, it's just unnecessary. If you ask me, I feel like the world is really, honestly, simple, but they complicate it for their own benefit. And I feel like people just got so used to it that they're just like, oh, okay, whatever, nothing we can do. This is just the way it is. No, there's never something, oh, this is just the way it is. This is just the way it is. No, it's not. I feel like everybody going on the same frequency. I'm going to say it again. We could change something. And I feel like I wish people were more woke to that. More woke to those things. Not about, like, pronouns or, you know, like, none of that. Like, it's a bigger fight that we have to fight. If you want those things and to be accepted in that, okay, start with something that's bigger. Stand for something that's bigger. You know what I mean? Like, when people talk to me about those things, I just be like, honestly, that stuff don't matter. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, if you want true peace or true whatever, you got to get rid of that other stuff. These people that are in Congress or whatever, it's really simple. And I feel like they are the ones who create this war that people don't want. Just like in Russia, this man is over here telling people that they have to go fight in a war that they don't want. They're out there protesting, getting arrested. They don't want the war. And why? Because this man did it. An older generation that doesn't understand. You know what I mean? But I feel like if we all would just support each other, just how we support each other a little bit, like when things are going on, like the same thing with Ukraine or whatever, and everybody showed their support and for them and everything else. But the same can happen if we show support together and stand united as, like, hey, we need to change this. You want to be a better country? Do this, do that. Something that helps us, not just you, the rich. How come the rich don't pay taxes? Like, have you ever thought about that? But the lower class people who struggle do. But we're supposed to be the greatest country in the world. Honestly, I feel like this country is not the greatest country in the world. Yes, there are worser countries out there and like that. I feel like this country is a blindfolded country. And it's sad. Like, I just wish that so many people would just stand up for the things that matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you? These people are not God. These people aren't anybody. They're just regular people like us, evil people, you know, who make these rules, who make these laws for the comfort of themselves. Change it. You know, it's like people is waking up now. Like, it's over for them. Soon, like, I want to say in like a few years, it's over for them. It's over for them. Because this generation, now that we got, they ain't here for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't here for nothing. And I'm here for that. Like I said, the only thing that is guaranteed in life is death and change, baby. So I just pray I I just pray I get to see that change one day. You know, good change, not this nonsense. You know, I want to live in a world where I can buy a car and won't have to pay taxes. I want to live in a world that I can buy healthy food for my body and feel good. Not that I have to spend like bricks just to eat well. Instead of me buying like, you know, like a big cheeseburger or whatever, you know, killing myself. And they wonder why people is obese in the US. Why is the healthy food so expensive? I don't understand it. You know, like, who came over here and made y'all like have so much authority that y'all can say, hey, you gonna pay for this. You brought that car, but you still gonna pay me. You did this, but you're still gonna pay me. Like, we're still living in laws that people in 19, 18, 17, whatever, made. Like, this is 2022. Them laws, that energy ain't gonna work in this dimension, baby. That energy is getting thrown in the trash. And like it says, like, you gotta go through worse before it gets better. And I understand that. And I hope that this little worst patch that we're going through gets better. That's like all really I wanted to say, because I feel like the world is so simple, but people don't look at it that way because it's just, they just so used to that way. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. And we're just supposed to sit there and be quiet about it. No, stand for something. Like, I swear, like, if I had more people to back me, I would stand for something, because I want my kids to be able to not struggle so much. Like, God gave us this world because it's supposed to be beautiful, not supposed to be stressful. The ones who make it stressful are the people in Congress, the people, the presidents, all around the world, the foreigners, all of them. Their country's hard on them because of the same predicament that we're in. We're supposed to be some great country, but we're not. We go at each other's throats instead of staying united. Supposed to be the United States. Like, I feel like, look at it. Like, all these states are united. Why? We're supposed to stand together, but they, you know, separate us. They make us go neck and neck and then say, oh, the people are just doing that. The people just doing that. No, y'all did that. And it's sad that that energy is still lingering around. And I feel like that energy is always going to linger around as long as they're in office, you know? I feel like it's unacceptable. I feel like it's nonsense. And I feel sorry for these younger people who, these older generations keep looking at them like, oh, the world is going down. The world is going down. Honestly, you just don't like that they changing your energy. They changing the narrative right now. They want to live how they want to live. At the end of the day, whatever somebody else is doing with their lives, whether they're sleeping with men, sleeping with a woman, whether it's whatever, that is their business. It's their business. Just because you didn't grow up in that era doesn't mean anything. And just because you see kids on social media or whatever, just because you didn't grow up in that era doesn't mean anything. You know, not saying that everything on social media is like acceptable, because some stuff I'd be like, but you know, it's just like the world is in a constant change, and there's nothing we can really do about it but change with it. You're supposed to change, not stay still. Like I said before, oh, this is just how things are. This is just how things are. You know, honestly, in 2022, 2021 also, I feel like the blindfolds started to come off. They're not fully, you know, off, but they starting to like fall. But it's like you just gotta like look at stuff in order to be like, okay, I see what she's saying. I see what she's saying. I feel like God is like, hey, enough. Like, enough of these people in Congress, the presidents. Y'all going to burn in HE double hockey sticks, because look what y'all did to God's earth. And if you don't believe in God, whoever you believe in, look what they did to the Creator's earth. Look what they did to the Creator's people. People are frustrated, and instead of people like, when they like see people doing something wrong, for example, the other day, my husband, he was telling me a story that this man, he stole a fruit or whatever, and these people came and they like stabbed him, and then they took him to the police station. It was in a foreign land, because you know in the years that wouldn't happen. But anyway, I feel like those people were so angry, but instead they missed the point. That man was hungry. Why didn't you just give him some food? Yes, I'm not saying that him stealing was okay or stealing the food was okay, but help him. Give him some food and then say, hey, don't do that again. You know, like, help him. People miss the bigger picture by being so angry instead of being united with each other. But instead you wanted to fight him and bring him to the police station. No, give him some food. He was hungry. Just how they say, like, these people who, you know, steal from the stores, things like that. Like, why are they stealing? Help them. Help someone. I feel like unite with us. Like, I just feel like the world is so simple, but people make it complicated. People make it so unbearable at times. And why I say people is because we all are connected. We all have to live with someone else's consequences, whether we understand that or not. And you can say, oh, that's their consequences. You do that, that's your consequences. By the end of the day, if it gets out of hand, like, let's say, like, somebody kept on robbing banks, whatever. Okay, eventually they say, oh, we're not going to have any more banks. We're all going to online banking now. His consequences F the banks up, which affects everybody. We're all connected. So I feel like everybody needs to stand together and get on the same frequency. Like, I just pray to God, like, everything changes for the better, and I believe it will. And I wish people would understand that we can do so much if we're all on the same frequency of energy. I just feel like we can do so much together, and that's one of my missions in the world, is for us to stand together and for me to always do something good for someone else, or like help someone mentally, physically, whatever it is. Like, help the world do better. But that's all I wanted to talk about. And if you thought about that, please leave a comment, and please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope that you guys come back. And my next video, I'm gonna have a guest, and I want to start a series that's called Phone Calls with Life with Lee. So, and don't be afraid in the comments. Let me know what you want to see or me to talk about. But I wish you all peace, love, and abundance. And God bless you all.